talking while leaving the starting screen up. I'm terribly sorry and so big of a Just more evidence of how tired I am, I guess.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to get in our way. We'll take them down and that'll be that.
That's right, we have items, consumables, red jasmine, resistance. Yeah. Red rosemary, elemental attack, Renwell, saffron, elemental defense, rosemary's elemental attack.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Lightning thrust!
Worth a shot!
I'm not done! Can you take it? Mirage! It's over! Strike! It's over! Lightning thrust! I'm not done!
I think the enemy's
Charge
getting
like that
desperate.
could easily be fatal.
Just don't tip your hand, though.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more...
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Well then,
Hooray, she learned
I
a
should
new art.
probably...
She's still don't think she can combo very well. Or I can't combo with her very well.
think about tonight's menu.
Oh, so Kisara is now our primary what am I thinking of? Primary cook. Where is that owl? Okay, it's definitely over here. I'm not hearing him. This way? Oh,
Hoo hoo hoo.
I hear it now. Now where is it? Just heard it.
Hoo 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 hoo.
Ah, there we go.
Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo 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 hoo.
The devil tail. Ooh. Demonic tail, curved like snake, unlike with the compass. Pointing in does not, in fact, always point north.
Hoo hoo hoo.
Maybe
take it-
something's going on in the forest.
I guess that's why it has such a sultry sounding voice.
Get lost!
Here I come!
Shield and
Lightning thrust!
Annihilation!
Mirage!
Going in!
Infernal torrent!
Psycho
You're
God!
finished!
You're mine!
Crush!
That's a pretty fancy skill there.
all the better to protect you with, my dear.
Then I'll leave the front line to you.
Is that a Wizard of Oz reference? No, that would be Red Riding Hood reference.
No choice. Be still! Elusive I'm not done! A new melody! Infernal Make it rain! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
A comfortable win.
I'd say so.
A fish!
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
I mean, he does come from a place where not much water laying around for anything much more than just drinking. Summary: various fish points are scattered around Dana, which contain different species of fish to catch. These fish can be used in cooking, sold for gold, or even unlock new titles. So don't hesitate to try new fishing holes when you find them. Fishing consists of 4 steps: casting a line, luring fish, hooking them, then reeling them in. For more information about these, consult the fish controls topic.
There's a nice breeze here. Yeah! Reel it in. Good fishers always keep their cool.
Yeah, still taking a bit.
Yeah! All right.
Fish on.
I'll catch something bigger next time.
Maybe you could keep it as a pet.
Dan Bass. Rarity 1 star.
Yeah! All right. That was disappointing.
Hit the wrong button.
Reel it in. You've got to know when to quit. Hup. I've got something.
Do I need to mash or press and hold?
It's not bad, per se.
You take your fishing pretty seriously.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit fishing and then refer to the control.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Well, Kisara
Okay.
definitely their audience. Hey, you look like you know your way with a rod. Been fishing a long time and built up a good collection of equipment for it. I'll share it with you if you're interested. I just want one thing in exchange. All I ask is you show me records of any fish you catch. The more catch, the more equipment I'll hook you up with. If you need anything, I'm always here. Don't be afraid to come up and talk to me. Fishing expert found at Talca Pond. Can teach you about the basics of fishing. Show him your fishing notes. He'll tell you where to go to catch fish you haven't found, as well as giving you new fish gear based on how many you've caught. Gauze rod, beginning popper. Kisara doesn't get use them in air also applies to flowing enemies. Increase guarding effect, further reduces the amount of damage taken while guarding. Great. Let's see. Fishing rods. Strength to gut to another fish. If you're running into a fish you can't catch with the current rod, probably time for an upgrade. Show records of you catching lots of different fish on new rods. Lures. Each fish is its own preference. When you find a new one, good idea to test it and see what kind of fish it worked on. How? Fish you caught before, check your fishing notes. It'll remind you where its habitat is. When in doubt, if it's fish you haven't seen before, show me your fishing notes and we'll talk. Anything else want to know? That was not helpful. Fishing controls. L to select where to fish, then press R2 to cast the line. If cursor turns yellow, it indicates fishing nearby. Press triangle to change the rod and lure. Some easier to catch depending on the lure. Fishing gear screen. You can view the fish available at your current fishing point from the fishing gear screen. While there, you can view the controls for luring fish next to the list of their names. Triangle, square, X to fish, lure fish to you. Doing so will make a ring appear that begins to shrink. If you time subsequent moves as this ring overlaps, you'll attract fish to your line in short order. You see an exclamation mark while luring fish. Try to perform another luring action right away. If you choose the right action, a heart mark will appear, bringing the fish closer. Repeat the cycle to draw the fish closer to you. Once a fish is sufficiently close, they'll bite down on the lure. When this happens, press R to hook. Once a fish is hooked, you must drain its stamina to 0 to catch it. You can press X to reel them in, which lowers their stamina but adds tension to the line. If the tension crosses the right end of the gauge, the line will cut, losing the fish. If the fish struggles, push and hold L in the same direction as the arrow on the screen. If the fish jumps out, press the button shown within the time limit. Successfully doing so will reduce tension on the line, while failure to do so will raise it. Got it. Why didn't you just show that to me when I
hope we catch
started?
something decent.
Indeed. Hungry bellies are counting on this. Yeah! There we go. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
Like, knowing this stuff...
Reel it in.
Seems like it should be more important than...
Dagnabbit! It got away.
Like, knowing these instructions is more important than... Just...
There we go. Good fishers always keep their
No.
cool.
But, like, that would have been helpful. These instructions would have been helpful to know when I was first fishing.
There we go. Dagnabbit! It got away.
Cast over here now.
All right. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Nice! You caught it!
I still think I'm only at 2 in my notes, though. Yep. I think this is the first time we're healing our Renan. Infantry.
I'm always a...
Have we seen Dohalim's field action yet? think I'm gonna stick with her. Imperial shield design. Listen. No, Fireflaw.
Amazed what healing arts can do.
Just
Hey.
Hmm?
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
how come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Roll binds.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Modest, he says. They're counted as those are particularly counted as commodity items. Flashbang shield. Feline passion. Looks more like a bat, to be honest. What are you doing with Jabbar's staff, Dolim? Right, management.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
It didn't even occur to me to wonder if Rinswell and Law had their cores. But as per usual, when we have one skit, there's always another.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm not so good with airborne targets. I never miss.
Got flyers!
I've got this. Let him
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training, though.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
There's the raging sword of peaks. Which are required for some of our new weapons.
All right.
Looks like it's tutorial time. The vines on the ground and snare releases. Strike them effective on fleet-footed enemies. It nullifies their evasive abilities and downs.
There's nowhere to run from my arc.
If he slows down, that's our chance!
Leave the agile ones to me.
Take this! Eternal devastation!
Elusive deity in a bind.
Demon Fang!
Tiger Blade!
Negative get the earth throbs.
Take this! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
You're finished! You're on!
Do I need to target the other one?
In a bind.
Infernal Torrent! Take this!
Fast enemies like wolves and monkeys appear, so they go. This attack will nullify their abilities to keep them from dodging attack.
You're finished! No escape! Take this! You're finished! You're on! You're finished!
Can you take it?
Be still! You're on! You're finished!
Negative resonate with the
Eternal devastation! You're finished! Lightning thrust!
Make it rain!
Try this!
Can't get out of this.
Infernal Torrent! You're mine!
Make it rain!
Here I come!
Ready and ready.
So enemies will have symbols when they need.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Crocodile Crush. Ages ago, the torn down hammer was used to beat back crocodile. Those who willed it were lauded as champions. Artifacts. Artifacts confer special effects simply by having them, some of which serve as bonuses that you can enjoy as a meta game. Toggle each of these effects on and off from the artifact list. Now set 6 additional arts. Press triangle on the art screen to switch between panels. Marks that are set to the second panel can be executed by pressing L2 in either triangle, square, or X. Speeds up the rate of aging recovery.
I sense a strange power from this.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
So let's. There's the field guide from artifacts. Art set +1. Ah. So I think what we'll do with Kisara is set we'll set the what her guard trigger ones. Definitely going to set your guard triggers ones to like all. One set's going to be all guard triggers. The other set's going to be all non-guard triggers. The question is, do I want? It'll be R2 and L2, and then whatever button it is. Maybe that's what I'll do. So, Flaming Meteor, Guardian Field, Piercing Roar. Huh. I say that, yet most of her put that on the main side. Hydro Blade. Thunder. Rising Wyvern, Severing Wind in here. Destruction. And Swallow Blade. Rising Falcon is our downward. Yeah. Hurricane Thrust. We'll keep Luno Rondo on both. And we could probably just remove it. I would still like.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'd still like Kisara to get aerial attacks, particularly the transition attacks before I switch back to playing with her.
the way through.
I've got your back. Fear. Here's evil. This one's mine.
Be still!
Going in.
No escape!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
A freezing storm.
Demon Fang!
Ice tornado!
Take this!
Did I put the... I want Luna Ronda to move from here and kept here.
You're finished! This one's all mine! Now, elusive demon! Take this!
I never miss.
You're finished!
Falling storm.
Here I come!
Do it.
Demon Fang! Take this!
There. Going in.
Eternal devastation! You're finished! Demon Fang! Here I come!
In a vine.
Do it. Tiger blade.
There we go.
Blow them away!
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
Okay, so this is our site. Which means I have to put one around. What are those?
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Give up.
Here I come! You're finished!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf.
Inferno turret!
Line free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
Won't get no sooner said than done.
The enemy wheels aren't too.
We'll soon see about that. I can do it myself.
Precisely. A healer who cannot be
It's
read.
over!
That's the wisest thing you've ever said.
I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over!
Who said anything about letting off?
Actually,
Here
that is
goes!
more appropriate.
Let's talk and more doing.
Begin! Take this! Be still! Elusive deity! Begin! Inferno turret! Lightning thrust! You're finished!
Now we're not.
Make your mistake! Blow them away!
Take this!
This one's
Take
mine.
this! You're finished! I'm ready!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Citizen!
Okay, that's new.
I need to be stronger.
Usually Rinwell's setting up for someone else, not delivering the final blow. Not at all. No, it's just not a way up. This isn't Xenoblade or Breath of the Wild. Or Tears of the Kingdom, for that matter. So let's see, what way now? Okay, we just go this way.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't meant.
Out of our way!
I thought you was,
Lightning thrust! It's over!
I thought someone like you would have,
It's over!
maybe
Lightning thrust! Negative gate! Demon Fang! It's over! Look sharp! Take this! It's over! Air pressure! Mirage! Here I come! It's over! Battle!
they are technically
Where are you? We the enemy's army! to me.
No complaints here.
Look sharp! Smash you! Make it rain!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Striker!
Yeah, nice technique.
Crunch! Elusive Stardust!
Do it!
I still got a ways to go.
Half a second too slow on the first one, half a second too fast on the second.
It'll take more than that to break my shield.
Dependable for last.
Take this! Thank you! Can you take it? Infernal Torrent! Tornado
Airborne beast. Mind special.
Crunch! Elusive Deity! Rising Phoenix!
Let me help.
Crunch! Can you take it?
Tiger Blade!
Take it! I'll grind you into
You're
dust!
finished.
This one's gone.
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done. All yours, Kisara.
Wait, is that gathering around
Good to
her
know my
face
training's paying
and then
off.
her
And what, pray tell,
shield?
does this training of yours entail?
Why? Interested in joining me?
Does that gather around her mace and then her shield just kind of joins as part of the polymer? Uh-huh.
Coming through! Take it! Be still!
Here's evil. Where are you going?
Denied!
Already dazzled! Go to me! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Take it! Be still!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah. And funneling to me.
Don't worry, I've got plenty.
Eternal Devastation! No further! Mirage! I'm ready! Go to me! In an instant! Impact Claw! Take it! Eternal Devastation!
You made me angry.
Be
That was
still!
a bad idea.
Rising Phoenix! Now, can you take it? It's over! Eternal Devastation!
All yours, Kisara. Like we're gonna lose to small fry.
Someone's got their stone mantle. Ardent Zoogle wings, even in their altered state, the wings still hold trace amounts of
And
magic.
thus our strength yet grows.
Ah. Some of these seem a little too close to one another. Like the difference between so here we have, yeah, like here's the difference between this is Alpha's and this is Sarah. See, they're a little close. These two are a little close, and like even the like what type of clothes they are very similar as well. This is also kind of similar to the symbol for Alphen and Ysar's as well. I have to say that this is the one that sticks out the most. Okay, so we're going to turn left, get up here.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Oh yeah, so something I've been speculating for a bit.
Let the
I
marksman
think I
handle
mentioned this
it.
earlier, but I feel like the comment about the Reddits not having
Where are you going? This one's field. Shield, go for it. Prepare to crumble.
Think we overdid it? Not by a long shot.
Look out!
was it not having
Be still!
Annihilation!
Make it rain!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Sighted.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a dark plus lightning attack. Oh,
Wow. Look what I just found.
like the fact that one has
I wonder if we can use this.
light, only has light, the other only has dark, and then only one of them seems to have relics from the past. Right? I'm wondering if they used to be the same plant. Again, I think I've
I
voiced
sure
the
builds up a
speculation
sweat with
out
this
loud
hike.
in a previous
Rest assured,
video.
we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed.
No choice! Take this! Eternal domination! It's over! Here I come!
Where are you going?
Infernal forest!
Can you take it?
You're mine!
Gravitas field!
Eternal devastation!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Okay.
Is that a healing art?
It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Eternal devastation!
Does it
Be
hurt?
still!
Take this!
You're mine!
Impressive. I didn't even get to have my turn.
History abounds with tales of lords' daring exploits.
Maybe you'll share some with me.
Here I come!
Like we're gonna lose to small fry.
This way first. Is this the proper path? This might be the. Let's say. Is this the proper path? Wait, did I just walk past? Here. Chinese inhibitor crystal. I wonder what we could make with that. Copper. Is this actually the way? Wow. I think Mount Banner. This feels like the path I'm supposed to be going, which means I don't want to be on here just yet. Of course it won't let me. Nope, no warp point close enough for fast travel points. let me drop down
Yeah,
here. No.
if only I were a cat.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Flaming thrust! Come on, come on! Resonate with the Eternal devastation!
Where are you going?
Look sharp!
Sounds like a job for you truly.
Kitara! All yours, Kitara!
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Flaming thrust! I'm ready! Going! In an instant! Impact cross!
I think we've
To
seen all
achieve such
of
harmony.
Dohalim's
Takes
at
a
this point.
singular will.
This pair up with Law is the barrage of attacks that end with them doing flying kicks, mirroring flying kicks. Alphen is the cross slash. Isara's is the giant gem sword. Rinwell's is what appears to be the shadow and light attack. And Shion's
Seriously?
This is Shion's
I shall ensure you survive this.
It's over!
Where are you going?
I was kind of hoping you missed him, the one you were aiming at.
The enemy will arc through.
We'll soon see about that.
All yours! Resonate with the earth!
Here I go. Here, let me help.
Take this! You're on! Infernal turret! No kick! You finished!
They're all going to up you.
You're on! Try this! Infernal turret! Fluid kick!
Art expert, coming through.
Make it rain!
Shion!
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action. A merry distraction.
Still more to go.
Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that.
Do it! Infernal turret!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
It's on Megaforce, probably. Oh. Maybe I'm looking for food and weapons, but there's nothing but Zugos around here. Not that I have anything to worry about because of you now. This looks like it should be a harvestable thing. That felt like it gave only slightly not useless speed. Yeah, it's the way I have it.
Yeah!
Let's see.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Take this! Die. Begin!
Look sharp!
Enjoy.
Look sharp!
No escape!
Piercing rock!
Here.
Here, let me help!
Who the hell are you?
Bastard!
This
I'm going
guy's
to
not
guess I'm
normal.
not supposed to be winning this fight.
Speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
I'm not done.
Take this. Can you take it?
I'm not done. Here we go. Mirage!
Take my answer. Not now. Not ever. Can you take it? Take this. Not so fast.
Going in.
I'm your
You're finished.
Enjoy.
Be still. You're mine.
Take this. Can't get out of bed.
Going in.
Take this.
Elusive deity.
Here I come. You're finished.
Okay, good. I was getting worried. I was like, wait, am I actually supposed to win this fight?
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please.
Alfin,
Shion.
thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
So is it actually the Alphans are Renin as well? And of course we have a double step.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Danon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
As long as
You don't
recognize
need to
it.
beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Missed the signals.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
I'm definitely heading back. Picking out those other cats. Yep, head up this ladder. So what's the... What was with that path to the tower?
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
You're finished!
Look sharp. Don't mind if I do.
Here I go.
Hero escape!
Mega Ray.
Mirage!
Make it
Shield!
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Why can't they keep it still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Get behind me!
Go for it.
Prepare to crumble.
Annihilation.
Here I come!
Hell's Fist.
Switch dropping! Mirage! It's over! Eternal devastation!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
I can feel my precision improving.
Okay, I still check to see if I can trigger.
Everyone okay?
Oh, lion. Lion's den? Pretty sure I commented on the thing looking like a cat's tail, but I think she's supposed to have
Retreat if you know
lion
it's good
in
for
it.
you.
You're mine! Be still! Here I go!
Mega Healing Art. Here goes.
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
It's over! Dazzle! Here I go! I'm ready! You're finished! Look sharp!
I'll take them again.
Here's a Healing Art.
You're mine! Okay, here I go! Mirage!
Key to enemy's arms to me.
Can't get out of this. No complaints here.
Cyan Instinct.
This
one's mine.
Make it rain! Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross!
Together?
I was so preoccupied with dealing with a Zoogle I slipped and fell. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes as me. Reading slow. I get the impression we'll be making quite a few astral.
That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be worth our while to fight it.
I'll clear the way through.
I've got your back.
Not on my watch. Into the shadows.
I shall ensure you survive.
Order field.
Infernal Torrent! No escape! We got fire!
I've got it. Let a marksman handle it.
An astral art? All yours! Dazzle!
Their arms are interrupted.
Tiger Blade.
You're mine! Mirage! You're mine! My turn! Here I come!
Derek Blade.
You're mine!
I'm ready.
This one's got your name on it.
Action to action. A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Be still! Mirage!
Falling storm.
I'm not done!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I got it.
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
Take this! Going in! You're mine! You're finished! Deity! Can you take it? Tornado Drive! Eternal Devastation! Resonate with the earth! It's over! On your Mirage! Here I come! Take it! Be still! You're finished! Mirage! It's over! Catapult! Eternal Devastation! Catapult! Mirage! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up. Prepare to be sealed! Do it! Kisara! All yours, Kisara!
I should be of some use to us now.
You weren't exactly dead weight before.
Except in regard to doing basic chores. Is it just me, or is anyone else peckish?
Yeah, I know.
You're mine! What a sick wait! You're mine! Instant! Here's the healing art! You're all radiant! Here! Escape! Can you take it? Demon Fang! You're finished! Dazzle! It's over! Mirage! Infernal Torrent!
Prepare to be sealed, oh fleet of foot. Actually, found is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Dazzle! You're mine! Mirage! Eternal Devastation!
The enemy wields arms too.
We'll soon see about that.
Lightning Thrust! You're mine! It's over! I'm ready! Bring up!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
I'll face you! Dazzle!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
This might be some decent equipment.
Renwell. I'm missing. I'm gonna go with now.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
So it's everything in this floor. Now we go back to that upper path.
I won't forgive you!
You're mine!
Look sharp!
You're mine! Look sharp! You're on! Take it! It's over! Take it! On your Here I come! Be still!
Where are you going?
Make it rain!
Take it!
Frozen?
Hammer!
Look sharp! Not so fast! You're mine! It's over! Mirage! You're finished! You're mine! Be still!
No.
Mirage!
Oh yeah, so I think that's all
Our
of
work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Shion's boost strikes are water attacks
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
with the other women. And
Brace yourselves! This one's done! Crush! Dazzle! Here I come! It's over!
and fire attack with all the other
Escape!
guys.
Dazzle! This one's
Going in!
Here I come! Here I come!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Not a chance!
Look sharp!
Do it!
Mirage! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Maxed out, but no enemies left. Fun. Lion Heart. Quarter at the tip of the race is one ally's AG recovery speed for a certain period of time. We'll go with this one. Down and I'll immediately start on. Here's the ridge we were at before.
What's that big tower over there?
That's what I'm hoping we're here to find out.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
Battle Tower and the ridge it stands on have long since been overrun with zoo. I'd only venture up if you know exactly what you're doing. I have to say, I have no idea what I'm doing. Interesting. Flying weapons used. Interesting. I may have to go back and recraft. That. I guess not. No, I didn't want to equip it. That I do want to equip. That. Chicken. Craft accessories. Yeah, sure.
you guys checked?
Get her spirit emblem. What was the other one? Magic emblem? Advance to Redwell.
Your equipment lately? Guess I'll polish up my sword.
Old habits die hard.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
Well, I guess I wasn't the first one who had to say it. Good for resting, yes. Well,
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Sorry for rambling on so much about my past earlier.
Don't sweat it. It was fun hearing you reminisce about the good old days.
Come on, you don't have to pretend with me. I know I can tend to go on sometimes, when it comes to my brother.
You said it, not me. Anyway, I don't think it's something for you to be embarrassed about.
Hey, Alphen. When you were a kid, was there ever a time when you had to bury someone younger than you?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm guessing that you have, though.
Yeah. During the previous crown contest, with the Lord before Dohalim. Life back then was truly hell. I think that's why I tried to ignore what Miguel was telling me for so long. Because I was afraid of going back to such a dark time. Of losing hope. I wanted to believe in our paradise so much that I doubted the one person I should have trusted most. I don't blame Dohalim for that. I simply didn't want to face facts. And I ended up trying to project my ideals onto everyone else.
It's strange. Whenever you and Dohalim talk about Menancia, it's always like it's some big failure. We're talking about fixing 300 years worth of damage here. Isn't it a bit optimistic to think it was all going to be resolved after only 5?
You might be right. Maybe it was a mistake when Menancia... No. When I decided to stop seeing the darkness in our society. I have to admit the truth. To myself, first of all.
You are now closer to Kisara.
See you tomorrow. Rise and shine. We're almost ready to leave. Yeah, if only I were a cat.
Not this way, I guess.
Someplace I'll have to come back to later. Or should I have jumped? Maybe I should have jumped.
Not this way, I guess.
Nope. I'm gonna have to go back this way. Didn't even give me. Oh. It's up there. Well, I guess we can always make use of this one to cut a little bit of it off.
If only I were a cat.
I guess there used to be an entrance up that way. Probably should have gotten that before going back and into the caves.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danon legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
This is kind of wild.
Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo!
Good
Hoo-hoo!
rose Corsair.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
I'm going to pause right here so I can get something to eat. Shall be back shortly. Okay, I'm back. With food. Might as well check this skid out.
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris. Do you think it could be the work of Renan astral arts?
Perhaps. But the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shion has got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important, and learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Mama Kisara and Alfie getting all over Dohalim. Of course it's locked. Got a puppy scratching at the door.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
I can't even get close enough to see that it is locked. I was wondering if this was Danon's. They're going more to the extreme on the other end with the Danons.
So you're Elfin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Why, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quietly.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If
Shut
so,
your
then...
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of the show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up. Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renan pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renans as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
Is this where we start really challenging Renlo's perspective?
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
Why does everybody have to be such cowards? You don't get this taken care of. Things are never
What's
going to
wrong?
change. What's got you down, friend? Zoogles, that's what. Pretty common variety of them, to be more specific. Rumors say it was the Lord's favorite kinds of Zoogles, so people are afraid to go anywhere near them.
All right.
I can understand their hesitation. If you need them gone, we're more than capable of taking care of them.
What
for you.
the?
Hold on, pal. I don't want you to just exterminate them. You can bring back any usable materials from them. That'd be great too. Want us to retrieve Zoogle parts? For what? Are you building something? Not building, studying. If I can demonstrate that even fierce and dangerous Zoogles can be used to make handy tools, that'll motivate people to hunt them for me. Can't always expect folks like you to come along and solve all our problems for us, after all. So you're trying to be more self-sufficient. That's very commendable of you.
Hey,
Actually, about those materials you're looking for, this isn't what you're talking about.
Yeah!
is it? Yeah, it totally is. Can I convince you to share what you have with me? Yeah,
Good.
we'll hand over the muscles. Great. You're one generous bunch of people, you know? Now, see what I can turn all of this into.
All right!
I'm sure I'll make it into something useful. Thank you so much. Accumulated. Cool, so we can now guard and move.
I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a rooster rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
a victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
If there's one, there's another.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan Lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
3 of them. Yeah, and I think Miguel is also in a similar boat to Zephyr, where he's very he was very reasonable. Like, he didn't hold a knew what it meant to be a leader, and he didn't hold a grudge against someone who didn't bear him ill will.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
That's what I was trying to put my finger on before. It was like, this is the opposite of, like, the opposite extreme of, Vicent. I was like, wait, that doesn't feel quite right. No, that is right. They are reflections of each other. One is a written-run town where everyone coexists, for the most part. Whereas this one is a Danon city that's been liberated but has gone too far the other direction. And so, as they mentioned, it looks almost exactly like any other city under a written lord. I've only been able to finish Almedria off from the start. I've been able to avoid all this other fighting, don't you think? Yeah, we could have taken these without everything being so damaged. Not even the outskirts were spared. Shh, I wouldn't say that too loudly if I were you. If any of Deadine's followers hear you talking like that, you'll be in trouble. Yeah, if you have to whisper out of fear of your so-called liberators.
I sense a poor soul who is in dire need.
Sounds like our cue to step in and help.
You have to stay alert. We can't let our guard down until we finally capture Almedria. I just have so much trouble with these things. Sure wish there was more to go around.
Oh, yeah?
What are you talking about? Our rations. We're always running short on them. It's never enough to be comfortable. You'd really do with some rice, potatoes, beef, and some spices in particular. You have
How's
what you
this?
need. That's what you need. We've got some right here. Listen up. Whoa, you're so generous. Thank you. Yes, that helped a lot. I don't have much to offer in return, but I'd like to teach you my family's secret recipe if you like. Cray. Cray brew made from various spices poured on top of rice. Strong spicy aroma and flavor make the rice feel that much more filling. I cannot
Great!
stand spicy food. Makes my mouth
Yes.
burn no end. Yeah, I can't wait to try it. Doesn't look all that hard to fix either.
Hey,
Hey, Kisara, if it's really that simple, would you teach me how to cook it?
Hmm?
Wow, you're actually interested in making food now, not just eating it? What does it matter to you? I just like to put a certain someone in his place for complaining about my cooking earlier.
Good.
Well, I'd love to teach you, but my training isn't going to be easy. Think you're
Really?
Is that serious? Sure, I guess. Hit me with what you've got. Promise you won't tell anyone else I asked this, okay? My lips are sealed, but in return, you have to call me Captain while we're training. Deal?
What?
What? Oh, okay, Captain. You're supposed to say yes, Captain.
Yes!
Yes, Captain.
All right.
Now we can begin
Right.
your training. So you have some freshly caught fish there. Perfect.
Really?
What? But the recipe doesn't call for fish.
What?
Are you trying to talk back to your superior? No, ma'am. You're supposed to say yes, Captain. What? Sara's initiation. Sure.
All right.
Good. Looks like you now. You have everything we need. Now we dive into culinary trenches. Yes, Captain.
Over there.
Does that hold you? How you hold a knife? What are you trying to do? Private? What are you trying to do? Private? Dance with it? No, of course. You're supposed to say yes, Captain.
Yes!
Yes, Captain.
All right.
Pay attention. Turn up that fire. Boil that water. You don't have time to let your eyes wander. Yes, Captain. It's all finished. So it is. Its flavor and presentation get a passing grade. It's got promise, but there's still room for improvement. You'll have to keep training every day. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Captain. I've got a long way to go before my food is perfect. But I'll show up. One day my food will taste so good it'll knock his armor off. I take it if I didn't have the materials, it would have forced me to go out and get them.
By the by, Shion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure. As long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Shion.
I was just joking. Kinda has a nice ring to it, though.
Still panel. I thought the second person had no fist speed. No. I think we more or less checked those recently enough. Are you the blazing sword of Calaglia? You're welcome to stay here if you like, but just don't cause any trouble while you're here, understand?
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little, if you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
That seems to be a good place to call it for today. So, we made it to... I still have so much trouble with these city names, or location names, but we made it to the next area. Learned how to fish. And next time it sounds like we're going after the fourth? Let's see. Fire, light, earth, now wind. Yep, our fourth lord. I wonder if... I'm wondering if we've already met the water lord. Yeah. Should be back on Tuesday. So yeah, thanks for coming out and watching, and see you again soon. Bye.